Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never. This song epitomizes Anglocentrism. It epitomizes the Anglocentric point of view. So Anglocentrism, this is seeing things from the point of view of England or English people. Well, nowadays it's from the Anglosphere, from English-speaking people. This is British and American. This is the English-speaking world. So, for example, very often the Scots complain that the British Parliament is very Anglocentric. I think the Welsh would say the same, that Britain is very Anglocentric, that it concentrates on England, that England is the most important thing, that England is the best. But notice this Anglocentrism. This also refers to the idea that everybody should speak English. It's Anglocentric. Nowadays it talks about everything should be seen from an Anglo-American perspective. This has the implied belief that everything Anglo-American, everything in English is better, that everyone has the obligation to speak English. And if Anglocentrism didn't exist, I wouldn't have a job. Or there would be very few people interested in learning English. But Anglocentrism is the fact of considering English-speaking culture to be the most important. Expecting everything to be in English, expecting everyone to speak English. So you go into a bar in Timbuktu and you expect the waiter to speak English. God, what an embarrassing point of view. I'm sorry. So I would like to apologise for this. But Anglocentrism is a bias. It's the perceived cultural, economic, historical, political, social bias that British is best, that English is best. And it's good in some things, but it's not in others. Or this Anglocentric point of view that literature is only literature if it's in English. If it's in another language, this is centred on the priority of giving Anglo-English things priority, an Anglocentric view on history. And this Anglocentrism, this really comes from the British Empire in the 19th and 20th century. And the British Empire controlled vast amounts of the globe, and it had a very profound impact on the globe and power dynamics and things like this. But this propagated the idea that British cultural norms were the only ones that were valuable. These were the only values. And it still continues today. And this is a type of cultural and linguistic imperialism. Yeah, if you've got to make your films in English. Yeah, if your film isn't in English, then nobody's going to watch it. But as well, communication, diplomacy, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. English is the lingua franca. This is linguistic imperialism, and this is, it's neocolonialism. It's effectively the Anglocentric idea coming back again and again and again. So it's focused on the English-speaking world. It's focused on the Anglosphere. And Anglocentric is the adjective. I think the world is too Anglocentric, giving priority to all things English, an Anglocentric view of history. I was wondering, I'm sure in Canada, the French Canadians call the English-speaking Canadians Anglocentric. So Britocentrism, I've heard this one. Well, Eurocentrism as well, but it's cultural imperialism. It's cultural bias. So an Anglocentric point of view, and that's why I started Rule Britannia. That's the Anglocentric point of view. This is, well, it reinforces Anglocentrism. So we expect everyone to view the world, to view everything from an Anglo-American point of view. And this happens, I think, very often subconsciously as well, which, well, I think it's destroying cultural diversity, which is really a rather sad thing, but unfortunately it's true. It's leading to cultural homogenization. One of the reasons why so many languages are disappearing, that education systems are becoming the same, because Anglocentric literature, Anglocentric history, Anglocentric language, Anglocentric thinking. So, Anglocentric.